I wanted to make this little short video about some experiences that I've been having. Recently, I have been triggering a lot of people from my past. And I don't necessarily follow all of the planets and, retrogrades or whatever. Sometimes I do. If it shows up on my timeline, then, I will acknowledge it. But I'm not big into astrology and whatnot. I know that we had a bunch of planets in retrograde for a while, so that could have something to do with it. But so recently, sorry, I just cracked my toe. So recently, there have been people cropping up from my past, and I noticed that they are being triggered by the fact that I am no longer the person that they remember me to be. So I'm going to go ahead and give you an example. And I'm not going to use any names, but someone from my past had contacted me, and they had mentioned something about how they were lonely, and they had reached out to me and said something along the lines of, I just want, someone from my past to come and hug on me and cuddle me and lay with me, something like that. Okay. And my response was something along the lines of, maybe you shouldn't look into the past or live in the past, and you should look instead to the future and be present in the now. And it was something as simple as that. And I it's not verbatim what I said, but basically that was what I said. I said, maybe you shouldn't be looking for someone from your past, and focus instead on the future and live in the now. Something like that. Okay. And with this, so, then the person's response back to me was, fine, I'll do that then. Have a nice life, or something like that. And I was just like, wow, because I didn't intend to set off this triggering, right? But I did. And it wasn't just that experience. So there was another experience that I had recently too, with someone from my past, coming back in. And when they said something, first of all, they said something to me, and I, said back to them what they said to me. And then they turned around and tried to tell me that that wasn't what was said. And so it was basically like they were trying to gaslight me. They were like, I didn't say that. And I'm like, I literally said back to me what you said to me, right? Like verbatim. And so I came to this realization that both of them expected me to respond a certain way. Like, they were expected me to respond like the Nancy that they knew before. In the past, this person, if they would have reached out to me, I would have, that person that I was before, that was craving, attention and craving outside validation, would have jumped on it and said, oh yes, and I would have just leapt at the chance to have, that experience with this person. And so I think he was expecting me to respond as that girl that he knew back then, that would have you know, done all of these things, you know, which would have, the girl that doted on him and you know, hung at his every word and was such a people pleaser, right? And the other guy too. And these were both males from my past, right? So I think the other person expected me to feed into the drama, right? Because then after that conversation, and I kind of was like, well, I think you're gaslighting me a little bit because I know what I heard, you know. And the thing is, I'm so sure of myself now and so sure of what I know I'm seeing in my reality, because before I would date a lot of men that would gaslight me, and they would literally be like, "Oh, you're crazy. That's not what was said and you're being too sensitive." And I would be like, and then it would cause me to question myself, and I would be like, maybe they didn't say that, or like, did they not say that, or did I make it up, like. And then I would question myself and be like, well, maybe I'm being too sensitive, maybe I'm overreacting. But like now now the new me like knows that I create my reality. And so I know what I know. I'm sure of myself, and so I know when I'm being gaslighted, right? I'm too strong and I'm too sure of who I am now to be gaslighted, right? Okay, so sorry, my child came in because he wants me to open one of his Halloween candies. So basically what I'm trying to get at is, you know, I'm at this point now in my journey, and I'm assured of what I know about myself and as far as I've come. Here, baby. So at this point, I can't be gaslighted, right? So my response was just like, okay, well, you know, I kind of feel like I'm being gaslighted a little bit. And then I just left it at that, right? So then this caused this person to be triggered. And then they left me like a whole bunch of voice messages, right? Just over and over and over and over again. Like, I don't know. I want to say probably between 10 to 15, just like trying to apologize and then saying that they didn't say that, and then saying, oh no, and literally just like backtracking and then saying, oh well, I did say that, but it was only for this one thing. And so it was like, wow. And the old me would have been triggered by that, or tried to like convince them, or I would have been like, I would have, you know, been sucked into the drama, right? And I would have fed into it, or I would have been like, no. And I would have tried to prove my points, or I would have tried to change their mind, or I would have even responded. But I'm at this point where it's like, I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. I know who I am, and I know how far I've come. And so at this point, it's like, I choose to not respond to drama. So I didn't respond, which triggered this person even more. And then they continued to just leave me messages after message. And so I still didn't respond, because my theory is, I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm not here to make you feel less guilty about anything. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to just exist. And you know, I know what I know, because I've done so much work on myself, you know? So it's just like, I chose to not get sucked into the drama, and I chose to set up boundaries, and I chose to not let them or these people drain my energy. And I just decided that if they expect me to be that same girl that I was before, that's not my problem. I'm not that same girl. So I'm not going to respond with anger or drama or hatred or whatever. I just chose not to respond. I just chose to keep my peace and let them believe whatever they wanted to believe about me, and that's it. You know, I didn't mean to trigger anyone, and it happened. And so I was just like, okay, well, that's it, you know? So I don't know. I guess the point of this video was, I want you guys to be aware of this. And, if these energies start popping up in your life, that people are going to be triggered when you are not the same person that you were before. And when you do not respond in the same way that you did in the past. And so what? Continue to still grow. Continue to still be strong. Continue to still know who you are and live your life healed and whole, and don't worry about what other people's opinions are about you, and it doesn't matter. Okay, that's all I wanted to say, and I hope that this video helped someone in some way. I wanted to make this for a while, and so and someone was waiting on this video. So I hope that this person enjoyed this video, Anita. And you guys just continue to do what you're doing. You're all doing a great job. These ascension energies are not easy, but we came here to do a task, and you're doing it well. Okay, so don't let anyone take you off your path. I love you.